Well, money is a medium of exchange. It's a way to exchange things where it's where instead of bartering, you have something else that you can exchange that everyone recognizes.
Good day, my name is David Fusco, and in this show, I'm going to talk about business, finance, and how to survive and thrive in this crazy environment that we're living in today. Welcome to my show.
Good day. Today's June 13, 2023, Tuesday. And today I just want to talk a little bit about what money represents. And what we really don't think about is what does actually the money represent? Money is stored up energy. And what I mean by stored up energy is the time and effort that we put as human beings into something to use in exchange for something else. So if we go back to, say, an example of the farmer. Farmer owns a big piece of land, and he's got a bunch of crops and animals on there, and he needs help. So these men or women that, have no place to stay or live say, hey, to the farmer, let us stay in your place, and in exchange for us staying there and you feeding us, we'll give you our time, and we'll work in the fields, and we'll take care of your cows or whatever you might have, and we'll exchange our energy, their time, for something else, a place to sleep and a place to eat. It's kind of akin to the old barter system. So that's not really money by itself, but you could see how value is transferred from one person to the other. One having food, which is a hard asset, and a place to stay, which is also a hard asset, versus the other people only having time. Well, they both one needed the time and one needed the other food and location, a place to stay. So it was a fair exchange in their minds. Then another example of that would be one man has chickens and he has too many and he doesn't need them all. And even though they can lay eggs and create other things and be meat, he's got too many. But he does need other resources. Maybe he needs a cow. So people could exchange those things. But it becomes difficult in a barter system to work in any expanded sense to create growth because, well, what if you don't need that cow? What if you don't need that place to stay? So over time, things were created to represent stored up energy, the time and the other resources that are going to be exchanged between two different parties. And in the past, in some places they used seashells, and some places they used wooden sticks, no joke. They call them tally sticks, and they actually did that in, I think, the Middle Ages in England. Literally just a stick with markings on it. That counted as money, stored up energy. Money is stored up energy. The difficulty is like, who's going to want that tally stick, or who's going to want that cow? You need to understand first, I guess, well, what could we use as money? What other things could be used as money? So I guess first we need to know is like, what's the function of money? Well, money is a medium of exchange. It's a way to exchange things where it's where instead of bartering, you have something else that you can exchange that everyone recognizes. It's also a unit of account. The second thing, a unit of account means that that one item that you're calling money can be used to value, comparative value to different things. So a laborer maybe work in today's dollars, maybe is $15 an hour. Where a can of Coca-Cola may be $1, or a SpongeBob SquarePants toy might be $5. It's just a unit. And so the dollars, which is what we use as money, that is the comparable unit of account, and it should be a store of value. So something that you hold on to that maintains a value. For example, if I save $100 today, I know that in the future I can spend that $100 and get something. And that's where a little bit of difficulty is coming in today's world, as we're seeing, as pretty much, I was going to say year by year, but now it's almost week by week, that value of those items that we want are going higher in cost, and the store of value in the things that we're holding is not maintaining a level field. So what are some of the other characteristics of money? Well, it must be durable, okay? Must be portable, meaning you could carry it around. must be divisible, so you need to know how to divide it up into smaller and smaller units of account. So yeah, in the U.S., we have $100 bills, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, singles, and then we have coins, smaller, quarters, dimes, half dollars, pennies. Should have a limited supply so that it's not being overvalued, for lack of other ways of saying it. And it must be uniform, and it must be acceptable by people. So after the barter system and after trying seashells and other things that might work, let's say, for example, if somebody wanted to exchange meat, well, that's not really durable because how long is it going to be? It's portable. You can take a slit, cut of meat, but it's not going to last that long. So over the decades and over the millennium, actually, most of human societies decided that that metals could be utilized as money. So the common metals in the past that have been utilized as money have been gold, silver, copper, and there may have been other metals at times, but the ones that we are all familiar with are gold, silver, and copper. So this is a gold coin, a Spanish gold coin from 1787, and it's about a little under an ounce. This is an American $20 gold piece from pre-1933, and these were actual monies that circulated. The nice part about gold is that, well, everyone recognizes it and knows what it is. And the other common metal that was used, this is a Spanish silver coin from 1786. Actually, this is a Spanish silver coin, probably the 1500s. They didn't really care what it looked like. And this is an American 50-cent piece from pre-1964. And just to make things a little even looking, here's a pre-1965 quarter. These are made out of silver. These are made out of gold. And what's interesting is that this has a face or a monetary value in U.S. dollars of $20. Yet that same coin right now today is about $2,000. What's interesting is that in 1933, this $20 gold coin would probably buy the same equivalent amount as $2,000 U.S. today in goods and services. So as far as being a good store of value, we're finding that paper money is not really holding up to that promise. The problem with gold and silver is the portability. Yes, I can stick these in my pocket and I can move around with them, and I can, go to other countries. I can go to other continents and visit other places. And heck, if I could go back in time, I could go back in time, and pretty much anywhere in the world I could get something for these gold and silver coins. But the problem is when you're dealing with larger amounts, how do you do that? You can't really just carry around, 500 ounces of gold or silver on your back, or whatever the number might be, and it becomes very difficult and heavy. So it's really not portable. So they came up with what was the next level of our money system, which is paper certificates. So there's a certificate for $10 worth of gold, which at the time would be just a touch under 1/2 ounce. Let's just call it a 1/2 ounce. And this is a $5 silver certificate, and this represented about just under 5 ounces of silver. It's actually 70% of that, so that'd be 3.5 ounces of silver. This was convertible, I think, until 1968 into silver. This was convertible into gold up until 1933 at about a 1/2 ounce. Had the man converted this $10 piece of paper or certificate into gold at the time, he would have about $1,000 now. Had this man or woman converted this $5 silver certificate back in 1968, they would have, let's say, around $40. No, it's about $25 an ounce now, so 25 times 3.5. Boy, my brains, I should know these things quicker, right? About $80, $90. The problem is that the government couldn't print this unendingly. They had to the banks had to actually have the physical metals to back these things up. So as time went on, they were taken away and they were replaced with these things we call Federal Reserve notes. Now, a Federal Reserve note is not a certificate, meaning it cannot be turned into gold or silver directly at demand. I guess if you had $2,000 of these, you could get an ounce of gold, but it's not convertible at the banking system level. And as we're finding today, this is not holding its value. I think today I had a buttered roll, was $3.50. Probably a couple of years ago, it was $2. Go back maybe 2-3 years before that, it was maybe $1. But the rate of change of things is much faster and greater, where this gold coin is a good store of value and maintains its value. So though the whole bottom line, though, of this is what do these things represent? What are these certificates? What are these Federal Reserve notes? What do these gold coins mean? What do these silver coins represent? They all represent energy that we put out and that we want to hold and store so that one day we can get something of value for this and can feel like we were not cheated. If we hold onto these for too long, well, you could just see the comparison. This is $20 in 1933, and now it's $2,000. This is $10 and will always be $10. But what's the value of that going to be in tomorrow, for that matter, or 5 years or 10 years? It's not going to buy more, most likely. It's going to buy less. You need to educate yourself and learn what you really need to do to keep yourself in the best financial condition you can. All paper money systems have eventually gone to their true value, zero. Every single paper currency in the world has eventually gone to zero, and then they replaced it. Sometimes they went back to a gold or a silver standard. Sometimes they went to some kind of other standard. Or sometimes they just reprinted money and just said, okay, that $1,000 bill is now a $10 bill. A lot of countries literally have done that before. So what can you do? Well, since time is money and money is stored up energy, you could do things to make your time more valuable. So instead of watching TikTok unendingly and YouTube videos, although mine are the ones you should watch, learn and educate yourself. We're going into a whole new technological industry. You've got ChatGPT out there. It's going to wipe out the white-collar jobs, or a big chunk of them. In the past, the Industrial Revolution wiped out a lot of the blue-collar jobs, where you need less farmers to till the same land. You need less tradesmen because there's equipment that can do things quicker, better, faster. The new technologies of AI and of robots are going to impact, I feel, the blue-collar jobs more. In my opinion, if I had a young girl or boy who was hitting college age, I'd probably recommend them going to plumbing school or electrical school or computer technology school. These are skills that are going to be needed and not as easily transferable to technology. Yes, there will be some transferability of those to technology, but mostly it's the non-physical labor jobs that are going to get impacted the most in the future. So if you want your energy to be worth more, to get paid more, to have more value, and it could be still in the white-collar job of the world, but you need to train yourself, you need to educate yourself, you need to bring yourself more value, create more value in yourself, so that when you deliver that value and you serve other people with that value, you can earn more for yourself. And when you're storing up that money, that's the hard part, is what do you do with it? Do you save it in paper? Do you save it in hard assets like gold, silver, stocks of some sorts that are representative of commodities? That's where that thought process of spreading the risk to different assets comes in. That's for a future conversation. But for now, make your energy worth more. Train yourself, learn more, get an understanding of what money is, learn whether you want to hold pieces of paper or metal, be it gold, silver, copper, whatever. These are real assets. This has a value until people don't believe it has a value anymore. This has a value for thousands of years, and chances are for thousands of more years, this will have a value.